Let us put our hands together and welcome Jason Yacht. A big applause to our first platform speaker, Jason Yacht.
That was a point to lower the volume. AIA Malaysia, how are you doing this afternoon? Woo, I think I heard you much better just now. AIA Malaysia, how are you doing this afternoon? Very well, very well. Oh. I'm 28 this year, and like many in my generation, I used to believe in a philosophy called YOLO. YOLO. YOLO is you only live once. You only live once, right? That philosophy has brought me to many interesting places, like into a stranger's car in Penang when I was 19 years old. After this photo was done, he leaned in, he kissed my cheeks, and asked if he could follow me to my hotel room. Guess what I said? I said, no lah. When I was 22, I went backpacking in Thailand, Chiang Mai, and I found myself on the back on this stranger's motorbike. When I was 24, I found myself taking this photo in a stranger's couch in his house in Melbourne, Australia. Shortly after, I found myself in the beautiful city of Phnom Penh in the land of wonder, Cambodia. I wish I could tell you much more about the adventures that I had in Cambodia, but the last thing I remember was just being bored after dinner, so I took my motorcycle and I ride off into the night. And then nothing. Pitch black darkness, and I wake up, Singapore, with metal bars sticking out my legs, tubes sticking out my neck and my nose. I had to cover one eye because I was seeing double. I had third-degree burns on the right half of my body. To top it all off, I was told that when I was found in Cambodia, my friend asked the doctor for my medical records, and this came up on the computer screen. Jason Lim, death certificate. My friend said, "What's this? He's alive." So the doctor said, "Oh, so sorry. This is a mistake, it's a mistake." So it could have been apparently it's a mistake, although I don't know how the hospital can explain that it came out in the Phnom Penh newspaper. The hospital was under investigation for organ harvesting. This was when I realized that I had just come back to life. And the first question that I had, like every one of you here probably, is what happened, right? I believe this video will help you answer some of those questions.
What does it mean to YOLO? To live every day to the fullest, because life is too short for regrets. Like not playing poker and getting drunk at 3 a.m. in the morning with the guys, and well, basically going all in. Hello you, my name is Jason, and this is my story. It was not the first time I went backpacking alone overseas. The idea of waking up whenever I want and going wherever I choose is just the best feeling ever. I didn't think it was going to be any different this time, exploring Cambodia. I couldn't be more wrong. The last thing I remember of my trip was riding on a nice, peaceful road, and then nothing. Pitch black darkness. I had retrograde amnesia. My mind wiped out all the memories of the accident. Apparently, I went head-on into the back of a SUV, cracking my collarbone and left femur, dislocating both my knees, ripping my ACL and PCL ligaments apart, suffering third-degree burns as my bike exploded. I fell off the grid, and for 10 days, my friends and family could not contact me. It was only after a series of incredible and practically impossible events that could only be orchestrated by the big man above, I was finally found and brought home.
Jen, go back Singapore, dear. Jen, go back Singapore. Go back Singapore. Go back Singapore.
Go home in Singapore.
I was drifting in and out of consciousness for an entire month. When I finally came to, I couldn't remember anything. In that time, my friends, beautiful family, and incredible parents went through hell, having to watch me almost slip away one too many times and being unable to do anything about it. I had put everyone through tears and heartbreak because I decided to YOLO. I was living to the fullest, without care for the incredibly selfish consequences that hurt everyone else so much more than me. I thought going home meant that the ordeal would be over, but it brought a whole new set of challenges, the least of which was physical. It was struggling with the simple things like taking a shower or making my own breakfast. I had lost my pride, my dignity, and my independence. It took some time, but I realized there was no point being upset about what I could not do. Instead, I should choose to focus on the many things I could still control. This experience opened my eyes to the suffering of other trauma patients. It made me realize how easy it is for us to take the little things for granted, like having 2 hands to put on a shirt yourself. To those who are going through or have gone through dark times, you are not alone. You never have been, and you never will be. It may be frustrating, but hang on and persevere. Fight the good fight. It will be worth it. For the rest of us, you don't have to go through an accident to finally wake up and realize that it's time to stop taking things for granted. I mean, no one is perfect. We all slip up, myself included. As cliche as it sounds, life really is too short. In our own ways, we do try to make the most of our everyday. But if you don't live for something, you'll die for nothing. Take it from me, I would know.
As frightening as this experience was, it was also liberating for me. Mitch Albom said in his book, "It is only when we learn how to die that we learn how to live." Now, if you're thinking, so Jace, are you saying that I have to go through something as traumatic as you before I can begin to learn how to live? The good news is, I believe I went through all of that so that you don't have to. The first thing I learned is that it is when we are still very much alive, like right now, that we must reflect about death. Because when we reach death's doorstep, then it will be too late to start living. Now, did you know in Thailand, they have this thing called the living coffin ritual, where the living actually pay money to go into a coffin. They go in to reflect about life and death. Now, it is said that when they come out of the coffin, they are reborn to their second life. Now, raise your hands if you might want to try this. I don't have enough coffins for all of you. But what we're doing here today essentially is the very same thing. Now, when you come out of this talk or this keynote, or if you want, come out of KLCC, then you can say that you too are reborn. Now, get ready to nudge your neighbor and ask them this question, okay? Do you really need a death certificate before you decide to live? Okay, nudge your neighbor now. The answer is no. You don't need a death certificate before you decide to live. What you do need is a mission to live your life to your fullest potential. Here's what I mean. So let's say your whole life, right, you've been doing your maths test and you've been getting an A. But for some reason, this time you got a B+. What's the first thing you say? Oh, I cannot lah. Because you know your fullest potential is an A. So your next time you probably work extra hard to make sure you get an A for the next one, right? Now, if you replace the word math test with the word life, and if you knew you had the fullest potential to get an A+ life, would you settle for a B? Now, life is a big word. There's many different concepts and aspects to that. You have your health, you have your relationships, you have your career. But here's what I learned. If I died in Cambodia that night, do you know what people would say at my funeral? They would say, what a waste. Because I did not live to my fullest potential. Now, to tell you the truth, I don't really care about what those people think or say. But it's true, right? This is not how I want to take my last breath. How about you? So this 2018, I urge all of you, go and discover what that potential is and make sure you live it to your fullest. So another question that you may have, right, is because, so I pressed the wrong button. Apologies. Another question that you may have and may pop up is a whole Pandora's box, right? Like, wow, Jason, who hit you? Who sent you to the hospital? And the truth is, I didn't know myself because I had wiped out all the memories of the accident, right? So here's how I found out in the epic story behind story. So when I was lost, my pastor from my church in Singapore, he learned and he contacted his friend, Craig, who was working in Phnom Penh in a non-profit center. In fact, Craig was the one who found my death certificate in Phnom Penh. So when he went back to his center, he told his members, wow, guys, I had just crazy day. I just came back from the hospital. There was this young man. There was 10 days ago, there was a motorcycle accident and explosion. One of his members said, Craig, I was there. I saw everything. This is a photo of Dore pointing to the exact spot he had seen me lying on that ground that fateful night. Crazy, right? So we have a conversation via Skype. He says, Jason, that night it was really very late and there was no traffic around. Of course, I didn't know you then, but when the green light went up and I saw you move your bike forwards, when I tried to warn you because I saw a car coming from the wrong side of the road at full speed. He touched your front wheel and he knocks you down. I said, your bag is on the floor. So Dore wants to help me pick it up, right? But before he could even reach me, he sees me pick up my bag, rev my engine, and give chase. Dore said, I don't understand, Jason, because there was no traffic light, but the car braked. And because of that, you smashed into the back, your bike exploded. These are the actual photos of the actual car and the actual motorcycle taken at the police report. This was you that night. You had hit your head, you had cracked your left collarbone, you had broken your left thigh bone, and you dislocated your knees. Now, if some of you are saying, Jace, are you sure or not? The whole universe, the one witness, so happens to be your pastor's friend's member. If you don't believe me, you can hear it from Dore yourself. So this is an interview that I did with him on my YouTube channel. So if you just go to YouTube and you type this in, Yolt Vlog, YOLT VLOG, you can hear it from Dore telling you the entire story from his point of view. Another question that you may have, especially since all of you are in the insurance industry, is how much, right? All of this I'm going to quote you is in US dollars because that is the amount that they use in Cambodia. 1,000 for damages to my bike, 1.3 thousand for the damages to the guy's car, 300 for the clinic that I spent at the night of the accident, and after that I was sent to the hospital where I spent 10 days, which came up to 7,000, and the biggest ticket of all was the emergency evacuation, which came up to 30,000 US dollars. All of that came up to 203,425 ringgit. My family could have saved this amount if I bought travel insurance worth what? Less than 50 ringgit. This was just to get me home to Singapore. When we landed, an ambulance was waiting for us to rush me to the A&E, where I spent 14 days. When I got a little bit better, they sent me to the high dependency ward, and when I finally stabilized, I spent 16 days in the burns ward. So after numerous surgeries and 44 days, I was discharged for the first time. I say first time because I was warded for a total of 3 times across a span of 1.5 years. To give you a sense of what that is, right? That is the entire of this 2018 plus 6 months of 2019. It's a bit of a long time. And we haven't even included the time I spent as an outpatient, in between an inpatient, the time that I was warded. I had to pay for checkups, pay for x-rays, pay for the list just goes on and on and on. That amount came up to $1,017,125 ringgit. If my family did not buy medical protection, this would have been the total damage. 1,220,550 ringgit. Can you imagine if you were the one lying on that bed? You already caused your family so much mental and emotional stress. Can you imagine adding this financial load onto all of that? I cannot imagine having to live with the amount of guilt and regret for the rest of my life. But thankfully, my family had a life planner who never gave up. I wish he was here to hear this because he convinced my family that being covered was the right thing to do. Because of that, he made a difference in my entire family's life, not just mine. He gave us hope. Allow me to remind you, AIA, what you do here is never about commission. It is about your mission to help families plan, protect, and prepare for life. This is your mission. Don't just sell policies. Do it because you will become the spark of hope in your client's darkest times. Just like the stars in the night sky. Wouldn't it be amazing if you could look back at a life filled with hope? A life where people around you breathed easier because of you. And that can only happen when you take on a mission that is bigger than and beyond ourselves. You know, a life where you take your fullest potential and you use that potential for a purpose beyond us. All right, nudge your neighbor and say, live with purpose. Sorry. Nudge your neighbor and say, live with purpose. And say, a fulfilled life is one lived to your fullest potential, filled with purpose beyond ourselves. Now, the last question that I usually get, right, is, Jace, would you do it again? Now, to tell you the truth, part of me would say, no. Because, well, in case you didn't know, cracking your left collarbone and your left thigh bone and third-degree burns and having 1.5 years of recovery, it kind of sucks. Yeah. But I wouldn't do it again, more so because I wasn't the only one who paid the price for my foolishness. My mom, my dad, and everyone who loved me paid that price with me as well. The truth is, we all make mistakes in life, mistakes we cannot undo, and mistakes we wish we can take back. But there really is no point living in the past, in regret of things we can no longer change, or living in the future in worry of something that may not even happen. For that matter, we shouldn't even be living in our dreams, because we cannot make our dreams happen unless we live in the now, in the present, to make sure that we live a life worth living. Ladies and gentlemen, who would have thought? Because I would say do it again. Yes, I'll do it again. I'll do it all over again because who would have thought a young man like me would have been featured on major Straits Times, right? 3 times actually. I was featured on 早报 as well. I was featured on a newspaper, magazine. This is Her World magazine, as one of the 40 good men. And all these articles talked about how I'm living a life that is full and a life that is filled. A life that you can have today as well. With this same message, I brought it to different countries, especially, book first, right? I written a book, published a book. It talked about how I published a book to really inspire and encourage those, especially in trauma hospitals, right? People go through accidents like me. And this story as well spoke about how I am speaking now in different places, like even prisons, to inspire and encourage the youth. With this same story, other than prisons and boys' homes and youth camps, I've shared in different countries, Singapore, Brunei, Indonesia, and I've even gone back to Phnom Penh, Cambodia, where it all happened. You know, when I share my story in different countries, everyone's like, whoa. No, but when I share my story in Phnom Penh, the silence is heavy. Because when I ask them, who here rides motorbike? The whole hall raise their hands. And they can really relate to the story much more than that. Who would have thought I'll be here on the 3rd January in KLCC with one of the best companies, AIA! There we go. All of that would not have happened if I decided to stop living a life of YOLO and instead live a life of YO, which is you only live. There we go. So, again, no need for living coffins or high-speed chasers or death certificates. what does it mean to live twice? First, to live for yourself, to seize the day. When you seize the day, it's like you seize opportunity, right? You grab it with two hands and you don't let go. To seize the day means you make the most of the day. You don't let a second go to waste. But then we also learn that if you live for only yourself, it's going to end in regret. That's why you must seize the day for more than yourself. You must seize the day beyond us. I may be a motivational speaker. I may be paid to motivate you guys. But I hope that's not what I've done today. I hope you don't just get excited for today but tomorrow morning you wake up and you go back to your normal life. So AIA, can I ask you guys, are you ready to make a decision right now? Let's try that again. AIA, are you ready to make a decision right now? Yeah. To yoke. Alright? To live your life that is full, a life that is filled. Right? Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to try this, right? All I'm going to ask you to do is say, AIA, who are we? Alright? Then what you're going to say is, we are Yod. Can we do that? Can. Alright, let's try that. AIA, who are we? We are Yod. Wow, my heart, so good. Alright, we're going to do that rehearsal again. So when you say we are Yod, right, then you give the loudest round of applause as you can. Let's try that again. AIA, who are we? We are Yod. Alright, we're going to do that one more time, okay, if that's okay. And this time we're going to seal it. Seal this moment in eternity. Because this is a decision, this is a very important decision of your life. Because today, if you wish, it's the first day of your second life. It's the first day of your yoke. Alright, let's do that again, right? So this video, we're going to seal it. And 6 months' time, I'm going to send it to you. If you give me your email, I'm going to send it to you to actually remind yourself of this day when you made a decision, so you can actually reflect whether you have gone back to your old life, or maybe a new life, to seize the day beyond us. Alright, AIA, are you ready? Yes. Alright, so I'm going to do it right now. AIA Malaysia, are you ready? I asked wrong questions, right? AIA Malaysia, who are we? We are AIA Malaysia, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Right, big round of applause to Jason Yot. Ladies and gentlemen, was truly amazing storyteller, and he's only 28, and it's such a great pleasure that we learn something from the survivor himself. One more big applause for Jason Yot. You only live twice, yeah? Right, such amazing sharing. So how do we actually can get, so all these videos that you have shared just now?
Yeah, very simple. All you gotta do is go to this website where I've made for you guys, right? jasonyot.com/AIA.
Right, once again, www.jasonyot.com/AIA so that you can get all the videos.
That's right. You just click the sign me up button, you put in your email, and in fact, I will send you a free 7-day course just to how to yoke, the practical parts of it.
It's really amazing. And of course, how do we can actually keep in touch with you?
For sure. So you go to this website, these icons below will take you to the respective social media, or you can just simply follow me at Jason Yot.
Already followed you. All right. So once again, thank you very much to Jason Yot. Thank you.